Yeah, it's the same. It's supposed to be the same type of game, I believe. Let's get the volume good. The same type of game as whatever that horror game. This isn't a horror game, I don't believe. I believe this is more mystery, more of a mystery game. Oh, it just starts right in, huh?
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Oh, we need some subtitles, chat. Pull the music down a hair. The sound effects down a hair because the dialogue's a little low. Are there not subtitles? Doesn't look like it. Those are all the options. Maybe they were on by default. I just missed them.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
That's neat.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately. I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral. In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
That's quite the house down there.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
It's giving me less crazy Hellblade vibes. To be fair, less crazy than Hellblade's a low bar.
Even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Oh, we have feet, chat. And a stomach. Look at that. For a real person.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Yeah, Cool Stuff Inc. Code Hoaglandia. Oh, that sale is over, but just coolstuffinc.com. Hoaglandia gets you 10% off. Any singles there? They're good folks. They sponsor a lot of our stuff.
hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
Yeah, Time to Beat said 2 to 2.5 hours, so I plan to just stream a little bit late today and just play through this in one sitting, I think. Oh, there's a car. I missed that one when it came in. Yeah, I think I got this one free on PS Plus. It's not breaking and entering if we own the house.
The doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. The power had been turned off the night we left. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot. Or how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly. The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
It's a morbidly concise way of putting it.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Hoarding's a real problem, chap.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit. Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house. After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
That's not creepy at all.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left. I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Oh, you play as the different characters from their stories. Oh, are we going to see the house throughout the years? That's what it feels like.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
She's locked in. At least she has a bathroom, I guess.
I kept eating and eating.
That was definitely gerbil poop next to it.
I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
Excuse me? I believe the
tried to be quiet,
toothpaste.
but the bird was really scared.
All right, so whatever was in those berries, chat, this child is tripping balls.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Wait, where'd the bird go? There it is. How do we get over there?
I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Alrighty then.
His face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Whatever was in those berries this child ate, chat, they should probably be licensing and selling.
A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Excuse me? Apparently we're a land shark, chat.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Hey! Holly berries just cause digestion issues. It's the toothpaste that's getting your face.
I grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
Oh, we've made it to eating people, chat.
I was big, but I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
What if there was a person over there to eat, Jin? I'm a very hungry girl. You want to deny this small child her dinner? I'm not her parent. I want the girl to eat.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I swam something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Oh, good, we came out of the toilet, chat.
I got
Oh yeah, this
closer
is
and closer.
every tiny child's nightmare. Just like monster out of the toilet. Oh, this is our room. And now we've come full. Oh, are we the monster under our own bed?
All of my stomach started growling.
Signor, thank you for the over 2 years. I appreciate that. Welcome
And
back.
suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Oh, that's really sad. It says 1937 to
I'm not sure
1947
if I
there.
believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have. I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors. This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johann. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
Set sail with his house.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Yeah, it sounds right.
Odin's daughter Edith, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
That's a hell of a bathroom. Do y'all remember this? Carpet in bathrooms? Who thought that was ever a good idea?
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace. There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book. Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
I'm sure all of this is structurally sound. This is a really cute kid's room.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Man, a lot of these kids died young, Chip.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
Yeah, why is he only swinging with broken? Oh, I've got... Sorry, there's
As
two
far as
sticks
we
here.
can, we swore we'd never be afraid again.
I gotta
He
use
wasn't.
both sticks, Chet.
I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Mom! Calvin! Dinner's ready!
Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible.
Who
Maybe
puts
if
a
I hadn't
kid's
said that.
swing here? Who puts a swing here, chat?
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
Also, like, can we
All these
take a
stories
minute?
felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Can we take a moment to look at all of the candles in here? Real close to the roof, chat? Maybe a bit of a
After
fire
funeral,
hazard.
Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again. The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Well, this is where we came out of before.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately,
Sounds like it.
her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The animation range here is sweet. Very neat storytelling.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Oh dear!
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you're...
She threw him out.
Good for her.
But she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
I like how we see the next panels to the right while we walk through this one.
Walter, are you there?
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And when he was, he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
It's gonna be like her stupid boyfriend again, isn't it? Oh, this is supposed to be the story of how she died, right?
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
The fuck?
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Oh man, I don't know. I'm not. I don't know where I thought that was gonna go, but that was sure.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Alright, that's pretty great. Alright, so we go back out through here, and we can get the key from the music box and
I
go
guess
downstairs
now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Yeah, all these stories are taking place in this house at different points in time. Felt like I needed a duck coming down here. The character movement in this game as I'm walking around feels easily the most natural feeling of any movement like this, which I guess when it's the bulk of your gameplay, you get to spend a lot of time on stuff like that. This game would probably be wild in VR.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Only about 2.5 hours, Worky. 2.5 hours. We're gonna do it in its entirety today.
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
Not surprised these people have a fallout shelter.
If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
I decided I didn't feel like finishing the Rune King. The combat just wasn't really for me, and that was a lot of the game.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
You can actually stream stuff like Cyberpunk 2077. I did a full Witcher 3 playthrough at one point. I am waiting
Even a
for...
monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal.
I am waiting for a PS5 specific release to come out for that before I do it. I figure they'll have enough bug fixes by then. Millions of peaches, chat.
And then one day, everything just stopped.
Well, it's 2005 now.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
Yeah, apparently we've been down here for 30 years.
I know it's out there, somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Well then.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
At a fake window. You got hit by a train. That's what it seems like. Can you imagine that? Live down here for 30 years and then get hit by a train? Your shower with your dishes. Got a little train track. It seems like it's just wacko. It doesn't look like we can go out that way. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, the train must have been the rumbling. Am I supposed to be backtracking through here, or am I going the wrong way? I can't tell. I feel like the game's done a good job of guiding me so far, but I feel a little confused at the moment here. Oh, I should be down in the bunker. Okay. I must have missed an interactable. Am I supposed to be going down here? Oh, weird. Okay. That's awkward. I tried that. I must not have had the right angle.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Yeah, I must have just had
But
the wrong
if she
angle.
never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real. don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family.
Yeah, the floating thoughts as what you're writing are really, really neat. Yeah, interactive movie, I think, is like a better descriptor.
You probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness.
It's interesting to use kind of a game as the medium for telling a story like this as opposed to a movie, though. I guess maybe some things are easier to do in a game.
Any of it seems possible.
Although with CGI, that line kind of blurs, huh? Anyways.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Rough.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Wow, she outlived him by a lot. That's very sad.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Well, so the house wasn't her husband, that was
always
her
easier
dad.
for me to understand.
That was, Odin was her dad, I believe.
But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
That's why there were locks on the doors. They were trying to protect them.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now.
Crazy people, chat.
Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
I can't imagine you're particularly sane to come back to this patch of insanity on your own, though.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Are you kidding me? She's pregnant? Where's her significant other, chat? That's why we have a belly, chat. We do have a bit of a baby bump, don't we? Good lord.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Sam also died relatively young.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off.
What?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Going to find Bigfoot, something like that. Alright, now I'm just kind of randomly taking pictures.
should not have drunk all that coffee.
Well, that's a pleasant sound effect.
Aw.
Nothing quite like being outside.
Didn't we already hear him do that? Am I supposed to be doing something to trigger something here? I did zoom on the island. The bird moved. Yeah, I must be needing to photograph something specific, huh? Because the bird was here, and then it flew to here. Maybe that's what it's trying to guide me to. The bird's dead center there. This is max zoom here, yeah. Do I have the dad in my field of vision?
Oop, a little more gas in the tank, I guess.
I feel like I must be missing something. Hand can pee like a fire hose, chat.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I definitely.
Hey! That's a keeper.
Okay, that's what we're missing. Got it.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
To tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map.
It is very, very sleepy time vibes.
Let's see. Maybe.
Alright, he must be waiting for us again here.
Was it? Could have been.
He talked about finding a trail with a deer. So I assume there's something we need to... There is kind of a weird stack of stuff on the island. There's birds on a wire? Where? Oh.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn.
Yeah, chat. See, we've got good eyes. What excellent eyes.
Before
Found
we take the
that
shot,
nice
let me
and
get a
quick.
picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn!
What a
Proud of you,
selfie.
Dawn. Always remember that, okay? Sorry, Dawn, just gotta reset the timer.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Well, shit. Well, I mean...
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Serves you right.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Crawling
After
around in
sunrise,
these spaces
My mom and Edie got really close.
has an
They both
entirely
lost a lot.
new context after she said she's 22 weeks pregnant yet. It's not too bad. I don't usually get really motion sick.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was he saw.
I'm controlling the frog for reference.
It sure made him happy. I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
Oh no. Oh no.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw.
Oh, Chad.
There's so much I don't understand about Gregory. About everything.
And actually just brutal.
But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy.
Oh, we're slipping into the drain.
He'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
It was her fault. Oh, it was a divorce contract. He was one. Oh, man.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that I
now
remember.
pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Well.
The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Oh my god, are we gonna get struck by lightning with our kite?
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. Thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
And the...
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Oh yeah, that door is definitely glued shut. Oh yeah, 22 weeks pregnant. Rockwall, chap.
At the time, it was as far away as she could get. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Why would you ever come back to this house, chat?
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English.
Smart.
Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Oh, her husband died? Yeah.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
This game is What Remains of Edith Finch, not Smart Decisions of Edith Finch. Yep. Oh yeah, this seems like a great idea.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush. I was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
It's so weird that they just like seal the house every time, chat. The room in the house.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
It's a residual smell, Chip.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
There's a fridge up here, chat?
My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things.
Tripping balls runs in the family chat.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
Watch out for deer, right? It's a familiar scene.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
She talking to her child? She must be, right? And that's why she came back here?
This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you.
Are we being birthed?
And tell you all these stories myself.
Is this? Okay, this got a little fucking weird even for me, chat.
things to
That's
work out.
definitely what's happening at the moment, isn't it?
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
What the actual fuck? No one expects the game to end in a vagina. What a... Was that just a long intro and the game starts now? No, that was this weird... So she died in childbirth? Yes, she must have, right? Why did it autosave? I don't know. We let the credits roll. Is there a Steam achievement for being bored? If this kid is smart, he's gonna bulldoze this house off of this cliff, chat. Achievement earned, thanks, Joanna. Why destroy the house? Name even one person it was a problem for. Wait, did I miss part of the story? Can you miss a room? Oh, there was a story in the bong room. We must have missed it, huh?
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Well, this is anticlimactic after being...
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small. imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously.
What happens if I stop doing the fish?
But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
I like how the game is slowly taking over what we're seeing too.
New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
You can see her pleading in the background while he's just completely zoned out.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows. followed the sound of her electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Oh, there's nothing left,
He knew
chat.
the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
What an awful place.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Oh no.
I still thought I could save him.
No.
Even after
Oh
he said he was being
shit.
crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Oh boy. Yep. I'm glad chat suggested we go back and do this one. I agree, this seems
Including
like.
the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him. His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
The fuck?
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Wow. All right. I kind of wish we would have found that one in order in the moment, but I'm glad we went back to finish it up. Holy crap. What an experience. Let's say that. That was an experience. Strange. Yeah, we just finished. So I actually missed this one by mistake, so we just went back to look at it after the fact. Is there something after the credits, or are we all done? I think we're all done. Yeah. Yeah, some of them made it past 20, so like, Lewis was 22, chat. Dawn made it to almost, or past 40, almost 50. Sam was 33. Odin made it past 20, and Edie made it past 20. Yeah, wild. All right. Well, So, okay, so obviously this is a one and done game. So tomorrow afternoon, there's another similar, well, obviously this is a unique experience, but there's another narrative driven game that's a shorter one shot that we're gonna do called Erica. And then Wednesday, I have a sponsored segment for my variety thing at the end. We're going to be sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, as some of you may or may not be familiar. And then Thursday, Friday, I think we're going to do Pokemon Unite at the very end. We're going to do Erica tomorrow, which is another short story movie type thing like this, is my understanding. And then we'll probably start another story game next week for the end to play through. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Lewis's section is one of the best interactions between gameplay and storytelling in all of gaming. I've never played anything where I felt more connected to the story through gameplay. That's a really good way to put it. Yeah. Yeah, the controlling one while you simultaneously did the fish was very, very unique. All right, I'm off for the day, folks. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Monday wherever you're. I hope your Monday is happier than this experience. It was good, but it was not particularly filled with joy. Choose things that spark joy this season, chat. I'll be back tomorrow morning. Peace.